Good morning. It's both a pleasure and a privilege to be the keynote speaker at the International Conference on Education, EDUCON 2025 London. My name is Malini Nair, and I am a business faculty at the Higher College of Technology, United Arab Emirates. Today, I invite you to explore a topic that is both promising and paradoxical: the growing role of AI in education and its implication for student autonomy. This is a story of advanced technology, but also of caution, of using it to empower and not to replace human cognition. We live in a world where artificial intelligence is reshaping not just how we learn, but also how we think. AI systems are now capable of tailoring content, adjusting difficulty levels, and even offering real-time feedback based on a learner's digital footprint. But amidst all this efficiency, one vital question arises. Are we empowering our learners or creating intellectual dependencies? Zwaki Richter and colleagues emphasize how AI has transformed education by enhancing personalization. However, as Holmes et al. Argue, this very personalization might come at a cost: the erosion of cognitive independence. Therefore, though AI-driven systems optimize education by adapting to individual learning needs, there is a balance that is required, since increasing reliance on AI raises concerns. Let me illustrate this through an example from my own classroom. I teach management courses and subjects that require students to grapple with abstract concepts, ethical dilemmas, and human dynamics. We introduced AI tools to assist students with summarizing research and mapping case studies. Initially, the results were outstanding: faster turnarounds, higher engagement, and tailored feedback. AI tools like ChatGPT and adaptive platforms help students simplify complex theories. But soon a pattern emerged. Many students began relying exclusively on AI, skipping the critical reflection, the questioning, the struggle, all of which are essential for deep learning. It became clear AI was doing the thinking for them, not with them. In one assignment, students were asked to analyze a workplace conflict and suggest HR interventions. Many turned to AI, which suggested textbook perfect solutions: performance appraisal, conflict resolutions, structured interviews. But when probed further in class, most students couldn't explain why those solutions were appropriate or how they had adapted them in culturally diverse UAE workplaces. This lack of contextual understanding was a red flag. The AI could mimic understanding, but the students hadn't internalized it. Interestingly, some of my students reflected on this during structured interviews. One said, "The AI made me feel smarter, but also lazier." Another remarked, "It's like it knows me too well. I stopped exploring outside what is recommended." The third student said, "I felt as if AI was controlling my study habits rather than assisting me." These voices underline the importance of re-evaluating how we use artificial intelligence, not just to deliver content, but to inspire thought. Here is the paradox: AI personalizes learning paths based on previous behaviors, but that very personalization may limit exposure to unfamiliar, challenging ideas, a form of intellectual echo chamber. Singh and Hiran call this the cognitive silo effect. Moreover, The assumption that past behavior is the best predictor of future learning needs undermines intellectual curiosity, a core tenet of higher education. So here comes a question. How do we respond as academicians? How can we strike a balance? We propose key strategies. Example, encourage by acting like an Aristotle, not Alexa in the classroom. AI should be a scaffold, not a substitute. Drawing from Vygotsky's social cultural theory, learning must remain socially mediated and interaction driven. Let students struggle a little. Let them question the artificial intelligence. Let them compare with human insights. Adopt AI literacy programs. Teach students to critique AI outputs. Every suggestion an algorithm makes should be open to challenge. Thirdly, institutions should demand transparency. They should ensure AI explains why certain materials are recommended. And lastly, combine the models. Have a hybrid learning model where AI driven learning is associated with research and human led discussions in the classroom. We must remind students that the machine is not the mind. AI does not know empathy. It cannot read between cultural lines. It doesn't understand. It calculates. We educators, therefore, must teach them to reason beyond the algorithm, to challenge the output, and to remain the authors of their own learning. To conclude, AI in education is not inherently problematic. On the contrary, it has the potential to revolutionize learning. But if left unchecked, it risks producing students who consume knowledge passively rather than actively construct it. Let us use AI not to dilute cognitive effort, but to elevate it. Let us remember that education is not just about faster answers, it's about deeper questions. Tell them to act like an Aristotle. Don't let AI do all the thinking for students. Encourage students to reason, deduce, reflect, and internalize, just like Aristotle's method. Use AI as a tool to scaffold thinking, not to replace it. Therefore, as educators, we must ensure that autonomy, curiosity, and critical thought remain at the heart of learning, even in the age of artificial intelligence. Thank you for your attention. If you would like to connect, please reach out at the following email address or through LinkedIn. Let us continue this conversation on how to make education both intelligent and human.